always use the lower part of the printer when moving the printer. Use the lower part of the printer, this part, while moving the printer.
Roger, roger.
Avoid using the tower or the cantilever. Compare the look of the assembly with the picture. Let's build the upper part of the printer. Covers and platform.
Nice.
So, find parts of this chapter in the following protective foams. So we need that orange one, which we've got.
Those two bits. So this is the bit we're doing here, Dad.
Okay. So where is it? No, is that
Tower the left. So we need
tower sheet left 1.
Part 3 fasteners.
Then 3x5. So 2 sheets and head left and right. Then how to distinguish between
6 and 3x5. Fasteners. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. How many were? 2.
3.
3.
M3x5.
Yep.
Nut screws.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Have you had a Jaribo?
There are 2 sheets in the package left and right. Then the left sheet has a hole and extension nut near its top edge.
That one there?
Is this the top edge?
Must be.
Oh, they're pointing to that. Okay, towards. So
Okay.
use this sheet now. The right sheet has nothing near its top edge.
This one will be your letter.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. We're starting here.
Right. So. Rotate the printer like in the picture. So we got it sideways. Going to use sideways. So there should be not all the way around, just halfway around. Okay. Good. Focus on the right side. Find 3 holes, which will be used to mount the sheet.
Oh yeah.
That way around. That's correct. Now the tricky part. Take the left tower sheet with the hole and nut and place it on the printer. Use the M3x5 screws to fix it to the tower. Use the hole in the lower part of the sheet for easier access to the screw. So you've got one at the top, one at the bottom. Is that right?
And one out here.
One out where? Oh, yeah. Finish fixing the sheet to the tilt horizontal part. Using the M3x5 screw.
So unlike a 3D printer at the moment, which has a heat bed and all that, this doesn't use it because it destroys the first layer of resin to the
Yeah.
print bed, is that right?
Yeah.
So you got no need to control excess heat.
No.
And the blower, is that's blowing air?
I think it's to do with fumes.
Yeah. So I imagine you try and keep the fumes inside.
There is a
Yeah.
filter, so I think it draws air in and then pushes out through a filter. This one is a little bit tricky to get to, especially with a baby iron key like this. I'm going to bring it over this way a little bit closer.
Does it have a ball-in or is it just a straight?
Sorry?
Do you have a ball-in version of that or is it just a straight?
Not in the kit, so I'm going to go with
Okay,
what's
it's
in the
this
kit.
one.
Okay, first one tight. Alright, after this, Dad, what's the next part?
Well, that you've already done that one
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
And the what's that? direction arrow there.
Yes, you can sheet horizontal music. Yes, okay.
Two
I've done
there,
those.
and then there's yellow on here.
Yeah.
And then the following step, sensors, parts, preparation.
Okay.
Got some zip ties, so top SL that thing. What's in that bag there? Double check the bottom, SL.
Yep.
So one looks like that, one looks like that. Thermistor,
One off.
which is one,
Yep.
and that's cable
Thermistor, yes.
and lid safety switch, which is this little guy.
Check.
Yep. In 3x5, one, and 3 zip ties. It's a screw.
Three zip ties.
Yes.
And 3x5.
In 3x5 for one.
And 3x5 for one. Yes.
Okay. Don't worry about recognising which printed part is top and which bottom. It will be clear from the next step.
We've inserted our thermistor.
That way around? Yep, looks cool. Yep. For easy assembly, let's assume that the bottom side is marked with the red colour. So the bottom side's got that thing, that hole there. Is that right? Guide the cable using the channel and make sure it is entirely inside. So there. Yep. If not, you might pinch it after adding the opposite printed part. About 80% of the thermistor's tip should be outside of the printed part. About 80%.
80%, maybe? Then I probably should have a bit more.
Yep. To measure the temperature properly.
That looks better.
Now insert the lid safety switch.
Okay.
Insert it from the same side as the thermistor. In
Yes.
other words, both sensors will have cables on the same side of the printed part.
Yes.
Also ensure that the cables are closer to the lower edge of the printed part.
Okay. Right.
Finish assembly using the second printed part. This time is the cover check bottom. Ensure no wire is pinched. Ta-da!
That was pretty cool.
Or bent. Assemble the cover check onto the left lower sheet. Use the following tips. The button of the switch has to go through the hole.
Oh yeah, there's a hole.
There's a hole. The circular hole in the printed parts must fit on the extension nut welded to the sheet.
Check.
Yeah. Secure the cover check assembly using the M3x5 screw.
Oh.
Guide the cable down through the hole in the printer. Don't pull the cable, leave it hanging. Through the hole of the printer.
Okay. There's a hole there. Yep.
Oh, that's down the bottom here, is it? Right. Check the 3 perforations in the still sheet where we'll use them in the next step for cable management.
Helps if we've got the right size Allen key for that.
They're the perforations there, presumably,
Yeah.
for the cable ties, I guess.
Yeah, that does look right.
Slide the first zip tie in the perforation and create a loop around the cables.
I'm still going to feed these through the hole.
Yep.
Yep. And leave them just dangling, right?
Yep. And then it says feed them, put the cable ties in but don't put them tight.
Okay.
Tighten the zip tie, but just slightly.
So top, middle and bottom, right?
Believe so. So the first tighten the zip tie, but just apply the same as on the two. So all through. No need to stretch the cable, leave it hanging down.
Nice. Roger, roger.
Roger.
One, two, three. Job
Yep.
done.
And then tower covers parts preparation. Tower sheet, right?
Yep.
3x5
Yep.
screws, 3 off.
Confirmed.
Rotate the printer like in the picture,
Only holding from the base.
otherwise you die.
Indeed. Ah, nearly died.
So well, that's two things that kill you.
So,
Entry by
back
five.
plate
Yep.
facing towards you. Focus on the left side and find 3 holes
I have.
throughout the sheet. 2 on the tower and 1 to the left
Yep.
here.
Found it, located, and
fix it.
securing.
Use the hole in the lower part of the sheet for easier access to the screw.
There's a hole here, so if you had a thing, you could probably go through like that, but only if you had a long Allen key to do it.
Didn't they supply a long Allen key?
No, but I don't
There's
think.
that one there. That's a long Allen key. That one.
No, not right size.
one
Okay. Charlie Brown.
That was simples.
Okay.
Yep. What's next, Charlie Brown?
That's the one we used before.
Next.
Oh, this is all spare. Right. The list continues. Filter fan. I won. Where will we find those bits? Do you know? So we've got that bit. Oh yeah. We need a bit that looks like that. What have we got
filter
over there?
fan.
Yeah,
Or you
that
want
looks
the
right,
actual
Ben.
filter?
That looks right.
Yep.
That's the fan,
the
filter
gasket,
fan.
and I've got the gasket. Which are those two bits?
Yep. And you
Yep.
should have the thing with, yeah, that
Yep.
looks good.
Yep.
And there's a box.
Yep.
So that's the box.
Yep.
That's that bit. That's that bit.
And that's that bit.
That's the filter, is it? That'll be the filter,
Does look like a filter.
which we take out of the box.
Mhm.
Oh, look at that. It's a picture of me taking the filter off. The thing off the whatever. There are a lot of components in this thing, aren't there?
And well thought out, I must say. So, right.
Dual filter, gas pollution, solid particles. Insert that way.
Okay. So you've cleaned it off. Next page.
Remove the plastic film, don't tear the paper cover.
Don't tear it. Okay.
Filter housing lid, filter gasket, filter fan gasket. So,
Place
line the fan on columns
that. Yeah.
with the sticker fan casing down.
Stick the fan casing down. Yep.
Make sure the cable is in the top left corner.
Yep. Confirmed.
Press the fan all the way down. Use
Confirmed.
reasonable force.
Yes.
Gasket preparation. Compare the size of the filter gasket with the filter housing. If it is not square,
Okay.
wrong orientation, this side too short. So it's got to be one way or the other.
Where does it say red?
Wrong orientation.
So looking at it from that view. That view. Okay.
Green is correct orientation.
There's gasket, sorry. Yep.
Use the cleaning
Which
pad to remove
orientation?
grease from the housing. Avoid touching the surface. Keep the pad for later use.
Now there's 3 holes in the actual housing.
That's
Is
the
there
correct
cutouts?
housing, and that's the wrong housing. I think that's the correct way. Yep.
And there's hole cutouts in that
Hang on a minute.
filter as well. Looks like.
That looks like it lines up properly with the holes in it there, and with the holes in the thing. It's got these little punch
Um,
holes.
So, peel the protective film from a... Leave the circular part in the middle untouched.
Okay.
Glue the gasket on the housing. Press it firmly all around the housing.
That's
that's
that.
that.
To hold it.
I guess
So you
that
need
was meant
to wash
hold
the...
it.
You need to wash the thing, that, with the pad stuff.
Okay.
Move grease from the housing. Avoid touching the surface. Keep the pad for later use.
Roger.
Peel the protective film, leave the circular part in the middle untouched, glue the gasket on the housing, press it firmly all around the housing. So it's got to be the right way around, like you said. In case you damage it, there's a spare one in the spare bag.
Okay, so that's going to be how we go down.
As long as the outside's lined up, that's fine, isn't it?
Mostly, yeah.
Alright. There is a spare one in the bag if you want to do that.
That's it. As long as you screw it in the holes.
Well, you punch the holes through with an Allen key.
Yeah, but they're set. They're punched. Pre-punched already.
I think that's somewhere.
Yeah.
It's a little bit trickier than it should have been, but
Maybe if
I'm
it's
gonna
still joined
pay it.
together, it might have been easier. Anyway, it just says punch the holes out with the thing, make sure the out bits come out of the thing altogether. Yeah, and out of there. Then it says,
Because if they don't, the fan will turn
use the
on
clean
and
protection,
die.
avoid touching the surface. Using an Allen key, punch through all 4 holes in the corners. Make sure you have removed the circular cutout to the gasket. Carefully press the circular part in the middle to lift off the edge. Boom, boom. Hold the outer part of the gasket and gently tear the middle circular part out. Place the housing on the fan. See the photo for correct orientation.
Roger.
Secure the housing using M3x10B countersunk screws. Tighten the screws only slightly. Don't over tighten as you might squish the gasket and die. Squished gasket might interfere with the blades of the fan. If you died, use the spare one. This time tighten the screw slightly less than before.
Okay.
Take it off a quarter turn. Wipe the inner surface of the housing. Avoid touching this surface. Preparing the second gasket. Compare the size of the filter fan gasket with the filter housing. It is not square. Oh, so this is going through a repeat where you screwed up the first time.
Yeah.
Gluing the second gasket. Remove the square part in the middle.
Hang on, I'm still finishing these bits, but yeah.
I'm just reading it, there's a correct orientation for that one as well, apparently.
Fan's still spinning the things.
Yeah, so the second gasket gets into that hole.
I died.
Oh, you didn't.
Almost.
Peel the protection filter fan gasket. Glue the gasket inside the housing. So this is the housing. Glue the gasket inside the housing. So
Basically, that's covering up the next bit.
yeah.
Fan's still spinning the things. Cleaning up the stuff. in. Check. No, not yet.
No,
No, the
just
gasket.
checking the same
No,
shape
no,
of
you
it.
can't put the gasket.
Just checking the
Later.
shape of it.
Gasket, filter.
The filter.
The gasket. Can't put the gasket in later. Gasket
Filter's packed in a thin plastic. Remove it first. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, now you can put it in. Insert that
Which
way.
way? Which way?
That way.
That way.
Yeah, it says down. See? Down. That's
Okay.
it. Then it says,
Insert the cover. Squish it.
see the
Smush it hard.
opening for the filter housing lid. Slide the lid in. Push the lid carefully down to close it. Secure it using two M3x5 screws. Make sure the lid and the housing are in contact. So, too easy, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah.
So this is surplus requirements,
Yep. Although we might want to save those for later.
and this is surplus requirements. And that's a bear. Can't be eaten. The next step,
I don't know if you remember that bear yet.
filtration hinge, then, is that part. Is it in one of those packets on the end there? They were spare. Yep, that's the hinge.
Okay.
And we've got N3
Oh,
N nut 2 times.
Nut. No, look, nut. 2. Yep.
N3 washer by 2.
Yep. Confirm.
M3 by 5B countersunk screw by 6. It's 5B.
Sunk screws. We've already used those.
Sorry?
Oh dear. Oh dearie me. Rewind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's for the side pieces.
Do as I say, not as I do, right?
Did you check the depth measurement on the scale drawings?
I was very certain.
Printouts.
But they told us to use countersinks before. Oh, screws. GG.
Number one.
I would call it capex personally.
Well, it still doesn't fit with one of these things, but...
Anyway, so
Hang on.
there's
yeah,
that.
hang on. Whoa.
There is that. Then there's also a cable cover, which is a square shaped thing.
And that explains why these were such a bugger to get in. Because they weren't meant to be used there.
That's the right one there. So there's that, that. Not those yet.
So I think we want to rewind and just go over that little failure in a second.
And this cover, Ben, is a rear cover by 1. No, not that one. It's
Probably underneath.
rectangular shape. Yeah, that could be it. Yep.
So I swapped it out.
Yep. Yep, that looks right. Good. Nice little weld there. 3 spots.
So, where they made mention of being able to get through that hole in the outer cover to get to that screw,
Yep.
yeah, check it out.
Yeah, that's what I
If you
said.
followed the instructions and
Yeah,
used the
that's what I
right
said, here's
screws,
the long one.
well, it didn't fit for the smaller screws.
Oh, there you go.
Countersunk ones have got a smaller size hole. However, if you use the right screws, you can
Use the
actually
right
do
cone.
this. Which probably explains why I was scratching my head before.
Okay, so
These were right bugger to get with the wrong size. Oh, okay. Not bad, eh?
Has this been burned in after?
No, that's the surface. He's
No,
got it.
no, the text.
No,
Is it
it's
burning?
just 3D printed.
So how's he getting that texture effect on the
On the
front?
bottom. That's the
On this?
bottom. He's printing it onto a textured surface.
Makes sense, doesn't it? Same with that.
Yeah.
Boom.
And that's pretty
Boom.
pretty imaginative, really, because that's the same texture as he's getting on this powder coat.
Yeah.
And it looks quite classy.
We were talking about this texture,
Mm.
so it's printed onto a textured surface. So,
It's much faster to put together. Crazy. What do you see there, buddy? Oh, check that out.
click. So these two guys here. Yeah.
Click. Click. Next.
It's not sitting on the flat, is it? Anyway, what it says here, slide the filtration hinge on the cover,
Yeah,
like
just
that.
like you've done that.
Place the washers,
Yep,
da,
done
and
that.
then put the nuts, but tighten them slightly. The sheet must be able to move, so you probably want to tighten those up with your little spannery thing.
Ooh.
Is that a ratchet spanner? Okay.
Should be a 3D printed one included.
The sheet must be able to move, okay, so not tight.
Okay.
Slide, swing the filtration assembly in between the hinge
Not tight,
and
tight.
the cover. The best way is from the inside of the rear cover. So the orientation is the wiring is hanging down. Something like that.
I'm thinking something like that.
So you can change the filter
Slide, swing the
after.
filtration assembly in between the hinge and the cover. The best way is from the inside of the rear cover. Orient the filtration assembly like in the picture. Make sure it fits properly all around.
Right.
Turn the cover. Use 2 countersunk screws. Tighten firmly. And there's the ones on the outside.
Yeah. Be careful, guys. We don't want to run out of relays.
We're halfway through.
Is this the more complex half? This one's still Dave. So turn it over. 2 countersunks. Yeah.
Yep, M3 by 5. Tighten firmly. Align the assembly. You're getting them both started, or
The first one started first.
it says align the assembly, tighten the nuts. On the other side. Oh, pretty good fit, isn't it?
So that should rock outwards. So
I
I
think-
undo those two.
Yeah, I think the idea here is that for manufacturing tolerances,
Drop something, sport.
something. For manufacturing tolerances, these things get put together in place.
And you tighten the lights on the back.
And yeah, that's kind of like really quite tidy.
It says slide the cable from the assembly in the printer.
Into the hole, which is the same hole that we've got over here.
It would appear that way, yeah, with that one on the right. There you go.
Bobby intermission.
I'm just wondering how you're going with the door open. Do you want that closed off or anything?
Use the printed cover. Oh, the cover, right, okay. Slide all the cables in one by one. Be careful, don't push them too hard in the cover or you might pinch them. Yeah, 3 and black one. Black and red. That all makes sense.
I'm gonna get you some dinner.
Yeah. And push the cap in.
Be careful, don't push too hard. For each cable, leave a small slack inside the cover. Don't stretch them. They are long enough to reach their sockets in the electronics. So, how short would this one need to be?
So down the
Stretch
top.
them. They are long enough to reach their sockets in the electronics. Push the printed cover down. So, yeah.
Okay.
Down to the rear cover. Slide the rear cover on the printer. Ensure no wire is pinched. Line the cover. Make sure the holes in the cover match the holes in the left-right tower sheets. Secure with M3x5 counseling screws by sides. So presumably you would tighten up the.
Do we do anything with the cable ties at this
Well,
stage?
it doesn't say to do it, but now you're going to lock that in.
We certainly haven't trimmed it, have we?
No. I'd be inclined to tighten them up and trim them.
Trim it.
But you'll need that nice little pair of side cutters.
Which the
In a bag there, Dan, I think.
it doesn't say tighten up, does it?
No.
No, it doesn't.
Is it just a guide maybe?
Yeah. Lovely. Alright, up comes the back cover. Lovely.
Two on the left, two on the right. Does that sound right? Sounds good. It's a nice fit that.
Man, the finish is just awesome.
Well, and there's a cover piece to hide the bolt. Sleeve. So once those are all done, we're looking at print platform part preparation. Use a microfiber cloth or similar soft fabric not included in the kit.
Oh no! Might have to check the knees. Niggyman, we have a need for a microfiber cloth or similar soft fabric. Would you be able to assist?
Yes, my love?
We're needing a microfiber cloth or similar soft fabric. I'm assuming something like the...
Magic cloth?
Yes, please.
Yep. Do you want a glass one or a dust one?
Just
dry?
general purpose dry.
So is that should be 4 screws, M4 by 10 screws, M4 by 10. So, one's got a tick facing the correct orientation for using screws to connect with the increase in the groove screws facing up.
The general purpose one is dirty, so that's dusty one.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much.
So it's the screws facing down like that. Not that.
Okay, so to put that down on the thing, right?
This one down on the cloth. It's already got a smudge mark on the other side of it. Yeah, anyway. So, correct assembly, groove is hidden facing down. Make sure the edges of both parts are aligned. That one and that one. That goes that way.
Groove goes down, okay. Does it matter which one's the front?
Doesn't appear to.
Okay.
In this plane, the part can be rotated 100 degrees, so orientation doesn't matter. Secure both parts using M4 screws. More parts. And that's probably the eccentric there, isn't it?
Does.
Holy crap, has that been finished?
Ground?
It's got a slight
Bevel.
thing, like it's
On it.
like a bandsaw. Is there a thing that goes around that?
I don't know. You've got the name.
Like a band of some description.
Maybe it's in the top part.
Oh, it'll fit into that cantilever. So it's been lapped by the looks. It's really nice. There's a gap there though.
Yeah. Because maybe just the high spot needs coming off.
Sorry?
Because maybe just the high spots need coming off. So it's
If
going
you
to
say so.
continuous. Okay, this bit's done. What's next?
So the next thing is prepare.
Or maybe it's been press fit in here to test it.
Prepare this part and this part.
Okay.
So there's that, and that,
Okay.
and that.
Right.
Knob body, knob cover, M8 by 45. One. M8, that'll be that guy. Knob body, knob cover. M4 by 25, which is those two guys. And M4 by 8, which is those two guys. So that'll go in there. I'm guessing.
So, first comment here is these screws are quite long enough
Not.
to be fully embedded, I don't think. So it didn't actually come up tight, so the risk is high to over tightening these ones, pulling a thread, but we're okay. So, next piece.
So it says here, this is what we're getting.
Yeah.
There's one of those, which
Yeah.
is that and that.
Yep.
Boom, boom.
No cover. Yep.
And we've got that guy,
Cover.
eccentric knob body. We've got M8 by 45. This
Yeah.
one, we've got M4 by 25. Those two, M4 by 8. Two of those. So insert the two M4 by 25 screws. Don't screw them all the way in.
There's only one screw here.
Too good with this.
There's only one. Hello. Maybe they've adjustmated it.
There's two under here. One, two. Yeah, it's two on the side. And so two, don't screw them all in. It's enough to reach the threads behind the gap. We need to ensure the screws won't fall out. Your printer might have only one screw. The procedure is the same. There is a grease
Okay.
inside the thread. Don't remove it. Does it feel greasy?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, don't remove it.
Okay.
And don't tighten.
Alright.
This step involves inserting parts from below and it might be slightly more difficult.
Okay.
You can lay the printer on its back but use the cardboard to protect the PSU power button if you're going to put it on its back.
Okay.
But maybe you don't want to put it on its back because you probably wouldn't need to.
Alright. Because there's a power button there, which might just protrude.
So, do you want cardboard? It's there if you want it.
That can survive regardless. Oh yeah, alright. That's what that is for.
So, check the two holes for the screws, insert the eccentric cover and hold it. That's this guy.
Yeah.
And screw. Hang on. Don't screw all the way in.
It's all been lightly locking screws. It doesn't fall out.
Use two M4x8 screws to secure it. Yeah. It's those two guys. You found the two screws under.
Yeah, we're just looking for the Alen kit to do him ups. There we go.
We will tighten the screws in the cantilever later on during the calibration process. So the eccentric will still be able to wobble but won't fall down. So you just want to put enough on there so it's movable but won't fall down. Then you the top surface of the screw should be
Underneath.
flush with the surface of the printed part. It's not, it's below the surface. There. But that's alright. Close the assembly using the cover. Make sure both parts are aligned. If not, the screw isn't properly seated inside. It's overly. So squeeze it together. That's in. Screw slightly the knob assembly in the printer. So that goes in the top there when you're ready. Look. Oh, that's what holds the plate, isn't it? The plate clips over the top of that and it gets
Guess so.
pulled up. So, next step is slide the platform on the eccentric. If it doesn't fit, rotate the eccentric. Tighten the knob and ensure the platform holds.
That's going on. Oh, I see. It's just sticking through the bottom. Yes, it certainly does hold.
Okay. Since the screws in the cantilever aren't tightened, the eccentric might wobble, but that is okay for now.
Indeed, it does wobble.
Compare the look of the assembly with pictures warning for safety reasons. Release the knob and remove the platform. Make sure the platform is placed on your soft surface.
Very soft surface.
The one you got there. Yeah.
Right.
Let's build the other part of the printer. Electronics and lid.
We had still got one of them spare ones, and I'm going to have a hurry back.
Oh, and it's got, you can eat the second line now. Eat the second row to regain energy.
Oh, phew.
Now, you'll find the parts. Third layer includes some parts. So, for the following steps,
Yep.
start on the front side of the printer and tie together the cable from the tilt motor and the right blower fan. That.
Yep.
Continue on the right side of the cables from the PSU power plus power panic to the bundle. Don't pull the cables, also don't over tighten the zip tie.
Okay.
Now use the cardboard, no, don't over tighten it.
No, but trimmed.
It doesn't say that.
I think we're going to trim it there.
You want to be able to tighten it later perhaps.
I did it before.
Use a cardboard and place the back of the printer on it. Make sure the PSU power button isn't
I'm
touching.
going to do this side first.
Sorry?
And this side, what am I supposed to align? This is by the power button, right?
Continue on the right side and the cable's on the power. To the bundle. Add it to the bundle.
Okay, so we've got those two there. And we're going to add this too.
Like
I'm
that.
going to bundle it. Yep.
Use the cardboard, place the back of the printer on it, make sure the PSU power button isn't touching anything. Gently pull the cables out and place a zip tie around them near the right edge of the circular opening.
Near the right edge. Yep. Does it say do it
Place a
entirely?
zip tie around them near the right edge of separation. Use another zip tie on the other side. Pull the cable bundle back inside the printer. Make sure it is all the way back and won't interfere with the UV LED, which will be mounted to the circular opening in the upcoming steps. That's all now regarding the cable management. We'll continue later on in this chapter. So Ben, we're looking for that guy. Is that it there? The round thing? Whoa, look at that. That's the LED stuff. And then one LED fan cable.
Colour?
It's blue and red by the look of it.
Blue, red, black.
It doesn't show having black, it just shows blue and red.
Like that.
Oh, maybe. Okay, we've got a possible variation here. Red and blue. That's definitely red and blue, isn't it? We've got several cables. How you going, buddy? Give it a
bit
shot.
here.
Shut it
Okay.
up.
That's one of them. I'll just find it out. Right, where we were, sorry. Apologies. Where we are?
Well, we were on its back a minute ago,
Yes, we were.
so maybe
Back
we're still
pieces.
on the back.
Okay.
Maybe we're still on the back because we need to get something happening with this round thing.
Right.
So, cable arrangement we'll consider later on in this chapter. So now we need that thing,
Yep.
which appears to have one cable coming out of it,
Yes, Roger. Push and pull.
and then it's got one UV LED assembly,
Yes.
which is this red one. Oh no, that's the whole assembly. Then we've got a fan cable, LED fan cable, which is green, which is that one, which appears to be blue and red, which is this one that Ben pulled out. But is that the yellow end there?
Yes, that's the yellow end there.
Right, so that's the yellow end there. Then we need one of those. It appears to be red and blue also. No, red and blue appears to be.
That looks like this one.
With shrink tubing, new version.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, that's this one.
That's the new version. Yes.
Yep. So it appears we've got that
Oh,
and
got
that.
that, yes.
That's all we need, it would
Yes.
seem.
We don't know what we need this
We need M3 by 5B, countersunk screws 8 of them.
M3 by 5B. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
5 After you remove the cover from the UV LED, please avoid touching the diodes. Any dirt or grease on the surface might result in print artifacts.
Okay.
UV LED is protected with a plastic cover. To remove it, push down, then pull slightly in the indicated direction to remove it.
Yep. Confirm.
While connecting the UV LED cable, proceed carefully. The cooling fins are sharp. You can hurt yourself.
Oh yes. So
Connect the UV LED cable. Make sure the safety pin on the connector clicks in the UV LED.
Right.
3 pins. Yep, that's right.
Looks like you've got 2 particles done.
It's just that that's in the way. Yep.
Check all the wires are all the way in the connector.
Yes, they are.
Connect the UV LED fan cable extension. Make sure both cables are properly connected. Now, it's got this
Yes.
picture.
And it's got this. So that's that.
Right, and
That's
the
now
yellow end
properly
is at
connected.
the outside end.
Confirmed.
Then, lay the printer on its right side.
Yep. Check.
The rear part is facing to the left.
Roger.
Before you insert the UV LED assembly in the printer, insert both cables and align them to the back.
Yes. Yep.
Slide the assembly up the cables facing to the back and secure it using M3x5 countersunk screws.
Okay.
Tighten on a diagonal to ensure proper seating of the assembly.
Nice.
Make sure the cables are facing to the back of the printer and no wire is pinched or you will die.
Excellent. No death. God, this is really a nice kit.
Ben, where's the touchscreen assembly? Touchscreen assembly? Look at that.
Touchscreens.
M4x10. Touchscreen assembly. There's fingerprints all over it.
Ah, it's only
Look
the
at 'em.
back.
Maybe that's Joseph's signature just there,
Maybe.
or one of these offsiders.
Okay. Confirmed.
So, anyway, so that's the end
Just
of that
about
section
done,
that
yeah.
we were doing. Nobody died in the process?
No.
No.
No cables were pinched.
No cables. were
Film still intact.
There's one there that's totally out, stuck out in the air.
Click.
Okay. We need M4x10 screws, 2 off.
Click.
This is talking about peel off, so that's got a cover on it,
Okay. So
which you can peel off as
go on
well.
the back.
So you're going to clean the back.
Yep.
So you need M4x10 screws. There should be 2 of them.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Be careful with all the cables. Yabba yabba. Now, before you continue, please clean the bent part of the holder. The bent part of the holder. Where's the holder?
Where's the holder? Must be right there.
Didn't see anything about a holder. Hang on, wait a minute. So we've jumped a page. That's okay. We've jumped a page. It's okay.
Got the holder?
No. It's okay.
Slide.
What have we got here? Take a look from below the printer and find the 2 holes in the tilt assembly.
Yeah.
We will use them to mount the touch screen.
Oh, I can see them.
One motion. Okay, so this is this stage.
They want us to peel it off already, do they?
Well, they suggested that, yeah, but keep in mind to avoid scratching it.
I peeled it off.
Yeah. Did you clean the other side? Yes. Okay.
Now,
So it says, take a look from below the printer to find two holes in the tilt assembly. We'll use them to mount the touch screen. Place the touch screen in the printer and secure it using two M4 to 10 screws.
okay.
The touchscreen assembly contains 3 cables for the touchscreen, then Wi-Fi antenna and a speaker. Handle them with care.
Wi-Fi antenna. Goodness,
That's
golly
what it says.
gosh.
And a speaker. So there's a speaker on it, is
Well, certainly don't want that.
Probably just books. Books and
it?
beeps.
So the next stage is some electronics.
Okay.
It's the motion controller.
Right. And there should be a Prusa 64 SL.
That's the print bit.
What does that say there, Ben, on the cover?
Print display.
Okay, that's not primary one. We've got the motion control.
There's another bit
Just that
underneath
one?
that too.
We need a Prusa SL1 board.
Motion control.
Motion control. This is circles. That's this one here. This could be it. Prusa SL1 board.
Might be the other board we need.
So we've got board and that board. And we've got the thermal pad. Peel off the clear protective film from the white side. Glue the pad. Fingernails.
Just said company turn up.
Kino shade. So stick it on there all nice and
Supervisor.
neat. And carefully peel off the second blue film. Pad is now quite sticky. Avoid touching it or you will die.
I don't want to die. Humpty Dumpty. Alright.
There is completely bolts and nuts, is it?
Extra pad.
Was when it started.
Slide the electronics holder in the printer.
Alright.
Use the cutout in the lower part for all the cables lying on the bottom plate. This bit here.
That's the cables on the top plate.
This cable's lying on the bottom plate.
What's that? That's the fan. What's happening there? Oh yeah. Includes that. Yep. How you going, Bruce, anyway?
I'm very good. It's intriguing.
These guys go over the
I
top.
thought it was something about
Up that way.
about the size of the table.
Oh yeah.
It is when it's in parts.
Well, even by the amount of boxes that are here, packaging and whatnot.
That looks good.
First thing is all the way in, then tighten the screws. Make sure
As
they're
well, so-
yeah,
You know which box to open
and
first.
all labelled.
That's clean.
Beautifully done.
Well laid out, is it?
Arrange the cables similarly to the picture to create a space for an easier installation of the electronics. That's that bit and that bit.
Yes. Which it seems to be.
That's what we've done so far. Look at the size of it. It's like the Bible.
Is it well laid out, the instructions?
Perfect.
Very good, yeah.
So, is it-
And it all fits.
so even a simple bloke like me can understand it.
Change the cable, so very man. Then tighten the screws. First ensure electron engines, then tighten the screws you have inserted earlier. Did you insert the screws earlier?
I did.
Well done.
Now these Titans.
Great.
You got a
So,
user manual, you got a handbook, you got it all.
now
Huh?
remove the boards from the bags. There's the board from the bag. Don't touch it or you will die.
Indeed.
So there's one of them.
They're building this for you, are they, Ben?
No.
So that's that one.
Roger.
Yep. And then this one. And what's the theory? And the theory is, remember to touch the boards only the edges of it or you will die. Both boards have to be connected before assembling them to the printer.
Okay.
Look for the connectors on both boards. It's got a thing there
Right.
and there. So we're looking at See, it doesn't want to loop in. So. Okay, so it's connected there. So that's done. That's done.
Connected.
Okay. Make sure, carefully make sure the pins are properly aligned. Before you move to the next step, please ensure you remove the blue protective film from the thermal pad. Otherwise, the cooling system won't work properly.
Yes, it is definitely being removed.
Insert the board inside the printer and secure it so the red bit is at the top and the green bit's at the bottom.
Still got a bit of tape on this thing at the moment?
Yes, don't take it off.
No, I won't, I promise.
Avoid using holes in the top right corner. Insert the board inside the printer and secure it with the M3x5 screws.
Yeah. 3x5, there's a standoff there.
Tighten them carefully. It says avoid using holes in the top right corner. We will use them later on. So
it's got an X and an X. Okay, so those two have got X's, right?
yeah, just to here. Yep. After both boards are secure, while tightening screws on the right side, hold the steel sheet
Yes.
so it doesn't flex, is it?
So you can actually bear
This is easier than the
down on it.
stereo amplifier that I built 45 years ago. Had no instructions.
1, 2.
We have how many screws? I think.
All the arrows and
Let's see.
Yeah.
Where did it say? Number of screws. There were 8 screws altogether.
2, 3. Have you got the pictures showing where? Or are they just saying?
Avoid using holes where there is holes. And insert the board and secure it with the M3x5 screws. So it would appear that all 8 are required.
Hmm.
I think.
I'm thinking so.
Yeah, so 4 on each board. Is it? 4 on each part.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So this uses a liquid rather than
Yeah.
a roll of hard stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you see the sample grid?
Sorry?
Did you see the
I was
sample
trying to
grid?
look for it, I couldn't find it.
It was in that corner there.
So there's great pleasure in building it, huh?
After both boards are secured, insert and tighten the M3x5 screw in the lower right corner.
We don't actually have an extra one, have we?
No.
Like I like anything that's
That
built
one there is
in,
presumably the last one.
in the Czech Republic. They're just so, the quality is so good.
It was like in a little Ziploc bag like that.
Okay.
Sorry?
It was in a little Ziploc bag like that.
Uh-huh.
A little ring.
You need more
Ring insert.
Stick it on the right side. Cable management parts preparation. For the following steps, please prepare USB and power cable. USB and power cable. That looks like the one.
This is serious
Connect this
stuff.
cable to the electronics when
It's high quality, huh?
cable management will be done later. Look at that.
Almost as good as those castings I'm getting from Czechoslovakia at the moment. They're getting better, aren't they?
It's pretty crazy, mate.
Resolution is ridiculous.
0.01 millimeter layer height. 0.047 feature size. Okay, that looks done, Dad.
Okay, connect the cables. We've got a, holy crap, present some cables and connects to the fraggle and you might damage them. LED UV cable, there's a pink one, goes on there.
LED UV cable.
PSU power cables, the purple one goes
Okay.
on there.
LED power cable.
Yep, then you got PSU power cable.
This is the LED one first, does it?
Some cables, just let's connect the cables to electronics. Start in the bottom and proceed clockwise. So that one
No, the
first.
UV
That one
cable
first.
first.
Which one's UV? Oh, yeah.
Then the purple one, PSU power cable.
Yeah.
And the tower motor labelled W,
Well, yeah.
which is sort of a little bit to the left. That one there.
Can't see it. Label.
Well,
Tower
this
motor.
one here, Matt. That one there
Tower motor.
appears to be the
Here we go.
same.
Yep, tower motor. Found it.
Yep.
Label on it. It says W.
W, and then tilt motor labelled T. And the tilt motor is blue-red.
Tower motor. W.
Tilt motor labelled T.
Yep. Yep.
Got it? And then the resin sensor cable, which is up here on the left.
Ah, yeah, that's the single one. We've got another one in here to go.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 done.
Okay, resin sensor
And then
cable.
the sensor cable.
Yep.
Okay. Continue in the next step. Wi-Fi. Be extra careful while connecting. This is now. God, it's a purple. Top left. Up here. That guy.
Yep.
And then with the speaker, black wire to the left. Or you die again.
Careful.
Can we get some more of that? Yeah. Down here.
Is that your speaker wire?
Oh,
Black?
yeah.
Yeah, it's just the Wi-Fi one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, come on, you bugger.
Probably looks like the hardest part of the whole lot.
It's just that it hasn't gone on before, I think. Gonna need to get you out of the way, Ben, I think, and just get it on.
So I'm in a
Black
place
wire
where
on the
they're
left,
doing
is
some
it?
drawing and putting together a machine,
that
so
good?
I'm gonna
Yes.
Okay, then we've got
I'm
cover
still
trigger,
working on
which is a
yours.
3-pin connector, which
frustrating
is
me a
the
bit, but I'm getting there.
cover trigger.
That's coming down from the top.
Yeah.
3-pin.
Connector.
I obviously did, yeah.
Now, that could be the clue
We'll
there.
keep you posted.
Red
Yep.
and blue,
Okay, we'll probably
red and
tomorrow
black
morning
maybe.
if we can.
3-pin. Yep. Okay. And it's got a
Yeah,
slot
I've
on
got to
it.
go
Yep.
in and out sometimes, but basically.
That's that one to the left there. And then
Okay.
Yep.
the thermistor is a 2-pin connector which goes to the right alongside it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
You've got a power button which goes to the right of that again.
Yep.
Then we've got front USB, which is orange over here somewhere. this one. Looks,
Okay.
it's a bit hard to tell.
Because this was the
Yeah,
USB power thing.
Okay. Okay.
Where's it look?
Yeah.
This black and that, is that what it is? Hang on, let's have a look over, it might be showing here. What's that?
Blue, red, white, black is usually.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Okay, clear.
So,
Reflector's clear.
say it again. Then we're preparing the print display assembly.
To your left,
To my left? No,
Oh, sorry.
that's
Yes.
the one. M4 by 14, B countersunk screws, 10 of them.
4x14B.
Yep.
1, 2,
Even these,
Four.
Bruce, they're
5, 6.
pictured. What's in the bags, exactly?
Yeah.
8.
So
To scale.
they're what's real size, are they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Print display.
Yeah. Be careful with the cable while assembling the display, make sure it doesn't get pinched or bent. So, make sure the cable leading from the LCD is not bent before you tighten anything. Always ensure the cable is all right.
Okay.
Don't peel off the protective film. Carefully insert the LCD assembly in the printer. Like in the picture, make sure the cable is on the left side and not bent.
Yep. It's not bent.
Yeah, well you try again.
Ah.
Okay. Carefully lay the assembly without making a noise. Make sure it is aligned with the printer.
Yes.
So we've got a whole bunch of screws. Use the 14 M4 by 14 countersunk screws to fix the LCD back in place. Don't tighten them. First, make sure the LCD is seated properly.
Looking good.
Now tighten all 10 screws firmly but with a reasonable force. You might strip the screw. So, normal procedure. Tighten them up till they break.
Quarter
then
turn,
quarter
back
turn.
off, yeah. All good.
So glad we got that
I'm
sorted.
a veteran at this stuff.
So here, for the following steps, printer display cable holder, M3 by 8 screws. M3 by 8, two of them. Two of them. So you get on with what you're doing, I'll play with this. M3 by 8.
It's nicely made, isn't it, Russ?
Hmm?
No, that's
Parts.
not it. That's pretty good.
Beautifully made, yeah. Beautiful.
I think
I'll
it's
say,
short-changed.
check quality stuff was good stuff.
Good thing we have got spares then.
Oh no, here it is. Look at that. There you go. There's those two and that is the next step. M3 by 8 screws, print display cable holder. That's what that is. Why does it look lower on the right there? Because
It's got
it's
the
tilt.
It's got that.
Cardboard.
Tilt, okay. So, warning, screen cables and connectors are fragile.
Fraggle?
Fragile.
Fraggle rock.
Connect the print display. Is this right? Connect the print display to the connector. Be careful with the alignment, you should hear a click.
This would have the Yank stuff, wouldn't it? All the metric.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they got pictures though, Bruce.
Huh?
They got all the pictures, that's all right. And the pictures are labelled.
And the tools come with it.
And all the tools come with it, the right length of Allen key as well. Because certain
And
Allen keys
use
have
the
to be
right
longer so
screws.
you can do up some bolts which are inside. Okay, so we've got a connected print display to
Got them done
the
first,
connector, yeah. Be careful with the alignment. You should hear a click. Make sure the cable is facing to the front.
So all this is
Stuck
spares.
between the reflector and the electronics holder.
How good is that?
Does that make sense?
How good is that?
It is to the front, yes. I have a cable.
Alright, so we'll connect the print display
Yeah.
to the connector. Be
I should
careful
hear a
with the
click.
alignment, you should hear a click.
Yes.
Make sure the cable is facing to the front and not stuck between the reflector and the electronics holder.
Okay, so it wants
Does
to
that make
come
sense?
out this way and be stuck onto there.
And then secure the cable with this little guy.
Okay.
There are two versions of the connector. The new connector has a safety latch which has to be flipped before inserting the cable. Is that what we've got there?
Looks like it.
We're doing this step.
Yeah, but then it's saying there are two versions, the LCD
Safety
connector,
latch just
which
there.
they didn't say beforehand. Okay, the new connector has a safety latch which has to be flipped before inserting the cable. The old connector has a safety latch which must be pulled out.
That's
before
for the
inserting.
LCD, the front display, not for the display for the thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we've
Again,
just done the screen part for the actual
LED.
SL1 one. So then this one is the next part, which is the touch screen LCD.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Right. Which is this piece.
Flip out the black safety latch. Right, it's not removable. Set the cable from the touch screen. Make sure the cable is straight, not twisted. Lock the cable in place by pushing the safety latch back.
Okay. So we'll put this into there.
Alright, I'm gonna move. I'll leave you guys to it.
Yeah, well, take care.
You too.
Always, Bruce.
I was heading down there with my darling when she wasn't feeling well, so kind of she brought her back home again.
Hmm?
I'm going to see what the story is.
Okay. There.
Very nice.
So, you're doing the LCD connector at the moment?
Attempting to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's got that clipped in.
USB and
we're
power
back.
cable through the front, through the printer to the front. Make sure no cable is near the edge or overlapping on the left side of the printer. This will avoid pinching any cable after adding the cover.
Confirm.
It's this side, is it?
Yeah.
Tie together the USB and power, optical and touch screen cables,
Yeah.
which is there.
Yeah. Sort of. See what did. They're not long enough to quite go that far, so.
Okay, well, the bottom, so please prepare bottom cover, 8 countersunk screws. 1, 2, 3, 4,
It's one of those.
5, 6, 7, and 1 is 8.
Excellent. Okay.
8 screws and the cover. Is the cover signaturized?
No. Just a bit of sad, but that's okay.
Anyway, so it's squishy from the front, but then it's got a picture there.
Yeah.
Slide the cover halfway to the printer and stop. We need to connect the front USB and power button first.
Halfway and stop.
These guys didn't want to pinch there.
No pinch. No pinch.
It's very sticking out here.
Yeah, I'll get there in a second.
Okay.
That is connected.
Look from above on the front cover and check and make sure the safety pin clicks. Safety pin?
Yep.
Slide the cover on the printer, screw it on one side using 2 countersunk screws. Don't tighten them firmly and move on the other side. Repeat the procedure. As soon as the cover is aligned and partly secured, add the remaining screws and tighten them all.
It's not ready.
brushing glass.
Centi.
Square.
2. So you should have small parts over there because there's nothing left in here. We're into the resin tank parts.